The black van stopped in the alley. A woman's voice cut through the cold air. It carried fear and a plea. Elliot Ward heard the sound while loading groceries into the back seat of his old sedan. He froze. He looked toward the alley and saw two men forcing a woman inside the van. One man held her arms. The other aimed a gun at her face. She wore a gray suit and a torn coat. Her breathing shook. Her eyes stayed wide. Elliot felt the pull of a life he had tried to leave. He stood still for a second. He thought of his son Liam, waiting at home. He thought of the quiet life he had worked to build. Then the woman cried out. Elliot moved. He crossed the street fast. He kept low. He counted the steps. He counted the movements of the gunman. He used the skill he had hidden for years. He had learned it in a career he wanted to forget. He reached the van. He grabbed the gunman's wrist. He twisted hard and fast. The man dropped the gun. Elliot struck his jaw. The man fell. The second man tried to pull the woman inside the van. Elliot pulled him back by his coat. The man swung. Elliot blocked. He hit once to the ribs. The man gasped. Elliot hit again to the shoulder. The man collapsed against the door. The woman stumbled back. Her breath shook. She watched Elliot secure the scene. He kicked the gun away. He checked both attackers. He checked the alley. He stepped back and met her eyes. "You are safe," he said. She nodded. Her hands trembled. "Thank you. I thought they would kill me." Police sirens approached. Elliot did not want to be there when they arrived. He did not want interviews. He did not want attention. He picked up his grocery bag and walked away. The woman watched him disappear behind a dumpster and move through the parking lot until he faded from sight. Her name was Claire Monroe. She was the CEO of a rising tech firm in Chicago. The next morning her story was on every major channel. Reporters said an unknown man saved her. She said the same. She told them she never saw his face clearly. She did not mention the quiet way he moved or the speed of his strikes. She kept those details to herself. Elliot returned to his routine. He made breakfast for Liam. He walked him to school. He fixed broken handrails at the bus depot. He avoided news headlines. He wanted the night to disappear. 2 days later, Claire stood outside the depot gates, holding a small paper bag and a folder. She waited until Elliot ended his shift. She watched him leave the building with oil stains on his sleeves and a tired look on his face. She stepped forward. "Can we talk?" she said. He stopped. His eyes narrowed. "How did you find me?" "I asked the store manager," she said. "You left your grocery bag behind in the alley. They had your name on record." Elliot sighed. "What do you want?" "I want to thank you," she said. "You saved my life." "You do not owe me anything," he said. "I brought you dinner," she said. She lifted the paper bag. "And I brought something else." She handed him the folder. He opened it enough to see paperwork. Job offers, benefits, a security position at her company, a salary that doubled what he made at the depot. "I cannot take this," he said. "You can," she said. "You have skills. You saved my life with those skills. You do not belong in a room full of broken engines." "I want a simple life," he said. "Do you want a harder one for your son?" she asked. Elliot paused. He closed the folder. He looked at her. She looked steady, but kind. Her voice carried purpose, not pressure. "I will think about it," he said. "I will wait," she said. She left. He watched her get into a black SUV with tinted windows. This one carried no threat. It carried 2 guards and a driver who checked every mirror. That night, Elliot sat with the folder on the kitchen table. Liam worked on his homework. Elliot watched him. He thought about bills. He thought about broken appliances. He thought about the life he wanted to give his son. He thought about what he had tried to walk away from. He had built a routine that felt safe, but small. Liam looked up. "Dad, you are thinking too hard." Elliot smiled. "Maybe is it about work?" Liam asked. "Something like that." "You always tell me to try things that might help me grow," Liam said. "So maybe you should try something too." Elliot sat back. Liam returned to his homework. The room stayed quiet, but full. The next morning, Elliot stood outside Monroe Tech headquarters. The building rose high above the street. Glass walls reflected sunlight in sharp lines. Elliot felt out of place. He walked through the front doors. A receptionist guided him to the top floor. Claire waited near the windows. She smiled when she saw him. "I hoped you would come." He handed her the folder. "I want to understand the job." "It is simple," she said. "You keep people safe. You stay alert. You use your judgment. You work with a small team. You work normal hours. No hidden tasks." "You sure you want someone like me?" he asked. "I am sure," she said. He accepted. During the first week, Elliot learned the building's layout. He learned entry points. He learned security protocols. He kept a distance from Claire. He preferred clear lines. She respected that. One day, she joined him during a walk through the lobby. Several employees greeted her. She returned each greeting with a steady nod. She looked confident, but tired. You do not like attention, Elliot said. No, she said, but I accept it. It comes with the job. You manage it well, he said. You saved my life, she said. That gives me peace that I did not have before. Elliot did not respond. He kept his eyes on the lobby doors. She looked at him for a moment. She looked as if she wanted to say something, but decided not to. Over the next few weeks, they crossed paths often. She asked about his son. She asked about his schedule. She asked if he needed anything. She did not pry. She did not push. She simply showed interest. One evening, Elliot found her on the rooftop terrace. She stood alone with a cup of tea. The city lights spread behind her. She looked calm but lonely. You should not be alone up here, he said. You are here, she said. That is different, he said. She smiled. I worked many nights. It helps to breathe fresh air. You had a scare, he said. Anyone would need time. She looked at him. I had more than a scare. I saw how fast things can end. It changes how you see the world. It makes you think about who matters. It makes you pay attention to the people who step in when no one else does. Elliot shifted. Her words carried weight, not drama, just truth. You carry something heavy, she said. I see it in your eyes. I had a past I want to forget, he said. You used it to save me, she said. So maybe it was not all bad. He looked out at the city. Lights blinked in sharp patterns. The air felt cold. You deserve a life that feels bigger, she said. Your son deserves that too. Elliot did not speak. She did not push him to. Weeks turned to months. Elliot settled into the job. His confidence grew. Liam liked hearing about his father's work. He told his classmates that his dad kept people safe. Elliot liked that. One afternoon, a board member confronted Claire in the hallway. The man complained about budget changes. His voice rose. He spoke too close to her face. She stepped back. Elliot moved between them. He kept his voice calm. The man left. Claire looked shaken. Elliot asked if she was all right. She said yes. Then she sat down on a bench and took a deep breath. You do not have to deal with things alone, Elliot said. Her eyes softened. I know. There was a silence. Not cold. Not awkward. Just a pause that held something new. I am grateful for you, she said. For your presence. For your steadiness. Elliot looked away. I am just doing my job. You were there even before the job, she said. Elliot felt a weight inside him shift. Something long locked away opened a little. One night, an unexpected power failure shut down several floors. Most employees had gone home. Claire stayed to complete a report. The building darkened floor by floor. Elliot found her office with a flashlight. She looked up. Is everything all right? Backup generators kicked in late, he said. We need to move to the lower floors. She gathered her papers. He walked ahead with the flashlight. The hall stayed dark. The only sound came from their steps. A loud crack echoed above them. Part of the ceiling panel loosened. Elliot reacted fast. He pulled Claire close. The panel fell where she had stood. Dust rose around them. She held onto his arm. Her breath shook. He steadied her. You are safe, he said, using the same words he had used the night they met. She looked at him with clear eyes. Not without you. The moment pressed into Elliot. He felt the truth of it. She trusted him. Not because he fought attackers. Not because he stood guard. But because he showed up every time it mattered. They reached the lit stairwell. Claire turned to him. Can I tell you something? She said. Go ahead, he said. You changed my life, she said. Not just that night. Every day after. You brought calm back into it. You showed me what real steadiness looks like. You made me feel safe in ways I did not know I needed. Elliot felt something move in him again. A sense of worth he had not felt for years. You changed mine, he said. You gave me a chance to build something better for my son. You gave me purpose again. She smiled. It looked warm. It looked real. They walked down the stairs together. The lights flickered back on. The building returned to its steady hum. Months later, the two of them built a routine. They shared coffee in the mornings. They walked the lobby each afternoon. They talked about work. They talked about life. They talked about Liam, who grew more confident each week. Claire invited them both to a weekend fair. Liam dragged her to every game booth. Elliot watched them laugh. That moment felt like a turning point. Not sudden, just real. On the drive home, Liam whispered to Elliot, "She is nice. I like her." Elliot smiled. Me too. Time passed. The fear of that night faded. The impact of that night grew. Elliot saved Claire. Claire saved Elliot in a different way. She gave him purpose, trust, and space to grow. He gave her safety, honesty, and someone she could rely on without question. Their story did not need drama to stay strong. It needed consistency. It needed care. It needed two people who understood that life could break fast and heal slowly. Elliot looked back often at the moment he heard the scream in the alley. A simple choice created a path he never expected. A simple act of courage connected to lives that needed each other. The lesson stayed clear. One act of kindness can change more than a moment. It can change a life. Sometimes it changes two. And that truth stayed with them for years.